What's good, YouTube? Sensational Sincere is here, and I'm back with another Tom Clancy's The Division Vendor Reset video. We're here for July 16th, 2021's Vendor Reset. So let's get right into this and see what we got good for this week. For our first gear items, head over to Camp Hudson. Here the gear vendor has a prototype performance mod with 2% pulse critical hit damage. For our next gear items, head over to the base of operations. Here the gear vendor has a tactical vest with the talent rapid. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the advanced weaponry vendor, and here we got a SRSA1. We also got a classic M60. Next here we got an SR7 suppressor. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the special equipment vendor, and here we got a Cassidy. Next we got a black market SASG-12S. Next here we got an M700 tactical. Next here we got a Spec Ops armor with the talent Reckless. Next here we got a Spec Ops pack with the talent Inventive. Next here we got a prototype performance mod with 4% mobile cover damage resilience. Also here we got a heavy magazine spring. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the special blueprints vendor, and here we got an electronics knee pads blueprint with a gear score of 256. Next here we got an angle grip red blueprint with a power level 34. And also we got a high velocity magazine blueprint with a power level 34. For our next gear items, head over to the Cavern. Here the gear vendor has a prototype performance mod with 7% Seeker Mine explosion rate. For our next gear items, head over to Camp Clinton. Here the special equipment vendor has a Liberator. Next here we got a Spec Ops mask with the talent Tenacious. Also here we got a Gunslinger vest with the talent Vigorous. Next here we got an operator pack with the talent Inventive. Next here we got a prototype performance mod with 4.50% support station healing speed. Next here we got an extended magazine. For our next gear items, we're still at Camp Clinton. Head over to the special blueprints vendor, and here we got a classic M60 blueprint with a gear score of 256. Next here we got a firearms mask blueprint with a gear score of 256. And also here we got a quick release magazine blueprint with a power level 34. For our next gear items, head over to Dante's Run. Here the gear vendor has an operator pack with the talent Inventive. For our next gear items, head over to the Ward. Here the gear vendor has an operator vest with the talent Reckless. For our next gear items, head over to the Crypt. Here the weapons vendor has an Omega rifle suppressor. For our next gear items, head over to West 31st Street checkpoint. Here the Dart Zone vendor has a Spec Ops mask with the talent refreshed. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 7.50% support station duration. For our next gear items, head over to West 34th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a black market TA21 if you like this weapon. Next here we got a tactical mask with the talent Enduring. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 4.50% smart cover duration. For our next gear items, head over to West 39th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a black market SASG-12S. For our next gear items, head over to West 42nd Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a 5.52 hollow sight tan. For our next gear items, head over to West 46th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a SASG-12. For our next gear items, head over to East 64th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone gear mod vendor has a prototype firearms mod with 261 firearms and 2.50% exotic damage resilience. And then also here we got a prototype performance mod with 5.50% first aid self-heal. For our next gear items, head over to East 58th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has an operator mask with the talent refreshed. And then also here we got an operator vest with the talent Vigorous. For our next gear items, head over to East 53rd Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has an operator pack with the talent Relentless. And then also here we got a prototype firearms mod with 261 firearms and 2% all resistance. For our next gear items, head over to East 46th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a military SA58 if you like this weapon. And then also here we got an operator mask with the talent Tenacious. For our next gear items, head over to East 42nd Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has an operator pack with the talent Specialized. For our next gear items, head over to East 40th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has an operator pack with the talent Inventive. And then also here we got a prototype performance mod with 3.50% ballistic shield damage. For our next gear items, head over to the 5th Ave checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a Spec Ops mask with the talent Rehabilitated. And then also here we got a prototype performance mod with 7% support station range. For our next gear items, head over to DZ2 safe room. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a tactical mask with the talent Rehabilitated. Next here we got a tactical vest with the talent Vigorous. Also here we got an operator pack with the talent Relentless. And also here we got some Gunslinger gloves with the talent Savage. For our next gear items, head over to DZ3 safe room. Here the Dark Zone weapons vendor has a lightweight M4. It's not a good roll, but I figured I'd mention it. Also here we got a covert SRS. And also here we got a military L86 LSW. For our next gear items, head over to DZ5 Safe Room. Here the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has a high velocity magazine. Next here we got an SR7 suppressor. And also here we got a rugged mini reflex sight. For our next gear items, head over to DZ8 Safe Room. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a tactical mask with the talent Enduring. Next here we got an operator vest with the talent Vigorous. Also here we got an operator pack with the talent Inventive. For our next gear items, head over to DZ9 Safe Room. Here the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has a heavy magazine spring. And also here we got a VX1 scope times 12. Alright everybody, that's it for our Tom Clancy's The Division vendor reset video for July 16th, 2021's vendor reset. I hope everybody who tuned into it found them something that they needed. Smash on that sub and like button, y'all. I appreciate that support, and I will see y'all with the next one, everybody. Take care, peace.